Hello class, so Envisions Math today you're going to be working on lesson 8.3, okay? I just wanted to review the order of operations real quick. I have this sheet here and maybe I'll see if I can post it online for you somewhere. But this is a quick reminder there for you for our order of operations, all right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, all right? As you can see there, the P stands for parentheses. So in your order of operations, when you're solving a math problem, you will look first for parentheses. Next, excuse stands for exponents. That would be whether a number might be squared or cubed. We'll look for that part next, and you would solve that section of the math problem next if it was there. Then we have my dear, okay, multiplication and or division. You can do either of these in any order, but you need to do those after exponents, okay, and before addition and subtraction. And then, of course, the Aunt Sally or Aunt Sally, depending on how you want to pronounce it, that is your addition and subtraction. Those are the parts of the mathematical equation you would solve last, okay? So parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication or division, then addition or subtraction, okay? Now today we are adding another element to our problems, okay? There are something called brackets, all right? Your parentheses are curved and your brackets are not curved, they're more straight. The reason why we have brackets is just because if you did double parentheses, that would look kind of funny, all right? So in place of doing parentheses and then more parentheses, you have brackets in place of that, all right? So you're going to be working on reteaching 8.3 today. I know in class we always did the practice activity sheets, but I want you at home to work on the reteaching activity sheets because the reteaching activity sheets gives nice examples at the top of each page, and I want you to read those carefully and look at every section of those problems so that can help you when you move on to the problems that you need to solve. Again, I highly encourage you to use scrap paper at home, or if you have a whiteboard at home, use one of those, something to make sure that you're writing your math work down, okay? All right, so we're just gonna go over one problem today that includes brackets this time. And of course, we always like to throw some decimal work there in for fun as well, okay? So today's problem, we have 3.14, just a little pi, plus, and then the rest of the equation is in brackets, as you can see. And then parentheses, 5 times 3/10 plus 7 times 2/10. All right? So when looking at this problem, the first thing you're going to look for is parentheses. Do we have parentheses? Yes. We also have brackets. Okay? Brackets and parentheses are also kind of like on an equal playing field. Okay? Just like multiplication and division and addition and subtraction. So what we're going to do first, because the parentheses are inside the brackets, both of these parentheses, we're going to solve the problems in the parentheses first, okay? So we have here 5 times 3/10. Anyone know out there what 5 times 3/10 is? Well, remember, if you want to hide the decimal point for a little bit, you could just do 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3? 15, correct. And then since the decimal place is moved over just one place value, that means you're going to move the decimal point over one place value in your answer. So instead of 15, you are going to get 1 5/10, or 1.5. Now we're going to solve the next problem in the other set of parentheses. We have 7 times 2/10. Well, again, we can remember to hide the decimal for a little bit and do 7 times 2. What's 7 times 2? 14, correct. Now again, we only have the decimal point moved one place value, right? So we have 7 times 2 is 14. We're going to write 14 down, and then we're going to move the decimal point over one place value. All right, so we have 1 4/10. Now, what to do? Remember, what I want you to be doing at home on your scrap paper or whiteboard is to now shift all of the parts of the equation down that you haven't used yet, okay? We haven't used the addition symbol in between those two parentheses problems, and we haven't put down yet the 3 and 1400ths plus, okay, that addition symbol. So now I drop down 3 and 1400ths, or 3.14, right, plus 1 and 5/10ths plus 1 and 4/10ths, okay? What to do next, though? Well, those brackets are still there, okay? So remember, we're going to work inside our parentheses, but then we're also going to work inside our brackets. So leave this 3 and 1400ths alone for a little bit. So I am going to drop down my brackets just to show you, because we utilize the problems that were in the parentheses first, and we're going to do 1 and 5/10ths plus 1 and 4/10ths, okay? Thankfully, that's a pretty easy decimal problem, all right? 1 and 5/10ths plus 1 and 4/10ths. Anybody out there know? Did someone just say 0? Because that's wrong. All right. Anyway, that would be 2 and 9/10ths. A pretty nice problem, okay? Now, we've solved the parts of the problem inside the brackets, and we can now solve the problems outside of the brackets, okay? The rest of the equation outside of the bracket is 3 and 1400ths plus. So we'll drop that down, okay? And now that is the rest of our equation that's remaining that we need to solve. I am going to make my problem go from horizontal to vertical to help me with the addition, okay? So 3 and 1400ths plus 2 and 9/10ths. Now remember, when you are adding or subtracting decimals, it's very important to line up the decimals with each other. So I am going to have a problem that looks like this, and I apologize that my problem is starting to get a little scrunchy here. We have 3 and 1400ths plus 2 and 9/10ths. Now the decimals, as you notice, are lined up correctly. When you are adding or subtracting decimals, you need to do that, okay? Now we have a little blank space there. What can we do with that blank space? Correct, put a 0 there, okay? There is nothing there in terms of value, but it definitely helps us solve our problem, okay? So 4 plus 0 is 4. Whoever just said 39, that's ridiculous. And then we have 9 plus 1, okay? 9 plus 1 is 10, so you can regroup or carry the 1, right? And put the 0 down below, okay? Now, before I move on with my problem, I'm going to drop down my decimal. Now, you actually, before you even started adding, can drop down the decimal, because the decimal, when you line it up for an addition or subtraction problem, is always going to stay in the same spot. So we drop down our decimal, and we have 1 plus 3 plus 2. And none of those silly answers. What is that? 6, correct. So, yeah, that's a funky looking 6. Sorry about that. There's no little dot in there between the 6. But anyway, that is 6 and 400ths, okay? So we started off here with 3 and 1400ths plus, and then two other problems in parentheses, in brackets. Do the parts of the problem, solve the parts of the problem that are in the parentheses first, then inside the brackets, drop it down, solve the rest of the equation, and then voila, we have 6 and 400ths. I hope that helped you out rather than confused you. If you have any questions today, please make sure you contact me through Gmail or through Google Hangouts, and I would be more than happy to help you with your math, okay? Remember, once you're done, 2 or less wrong, way to go. 3 or more wrong, just let me know, and I'll try to help you out with whatever you might have struggled with, okay? All right, make a great day.